Co-workers tearfully embraced outside a home in Catonsville, a job site that became the scene of a rescue mission on Friday. A construction crew was reinforcing a wall when it collapsed on them, trapping two men in the trench they had dug. Baltimore County Fire Department Lieutenant Shawn Drees says every rescue mission starts out with hope.
We know there are a lot of survivable void spaces that occur in building collapses, so we hope and pray that they somehow ended up in one of those, and we just tunnel until we can locate them under the assumption that they are still alive in there.
Crews used cameras to try and get eyes on the victims in the trench. One of the men was found pretty early on in the search.
Unfortunately, there was no ability to make communication, and there was enough of a visual on the individual to confirm that they had passed away. With the second individual, where they were located, we were never able to get a search camera into that position.
Once they shored up the existing structure to make sure it didn't collapse further, firefighters were able to go into the basement, de-layer the foundation wall, and locate the second man. Police identified the victims as 24-year-old Emerson Amestica and 32-year-old Wilmer Barzalo. Gregory and Amanda Barber lived nearby and saw the large emergency response as fire crews spent hours trying to rescue the pair.
I just absolutely crazy and just praying for the construction workers that were trapped underneath and hoping that for the best news, and unfortunately we saw a few hours later that it wasn't the news that we were hoping for.
Monday afternoon, there's now a notice on the door declaring the home unsafe. We also saw a state inspector from Maryland Occupational Safety and Health, which is investigating the incident, and a truck from the construction company that employed the two men, Quality First Basement Systems, based in Elkton.
In the construction world alone, there's over 1,000 fatalities in the U.S. every year.
Vernon O'Donnell says the majority of workplace deaths are preventable. He's the CEO of Voxel, which uses AI to detect safety hazards in a variety of workplaces, including construction sites. For example, the technology could alert a crew to a crack in a building before a worker even notices it. O'Donnell says even if every preventative measure is followed to a T, we're all human, and it's easy to miss things when you're doing a familiar task.
So I don't think it's a training issue. I don't think it's a thing where people are lacking the competency or the capabilities. I think it's just you do the same job 1,000 days in a row, and having to have the level of precision and care you do, it can be exhausting.
To prevent collapses and cave-ins, OSHA requires trenches at least 5 feet deep to have a protective system, usually known as a trench box. Moshe will confirm whether there was a trench box in place during the work in Catonsville. The braces that are there now are from the fire department's rescue efforts. The cause of Friday's collapse is still under investigation. We reached out to the construction company where the two workers were employed. We are waiting to hear back.